Hey, I am Mustafa Sharif, and thank you for listening or watching Urbanistica podcast slash talks. Unfortunately, we're still facing the coronavirus, but I'm happy that the music is still on. And today in this episode, I'm super excited because we're going to talk about the Digital Music Festival. I have the pleasure to welcome my guest, Sulekha Dar, the project leader of the online digital music festival. Hey, Sulekha,
Hello,
how are you doing?
I'm good, even though the terms are quite interesting, but otherwise I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining and for giving your time, inspiration.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited for this talk.
It's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward.
Yes, me too.
Well, tell us more about you.
Well, I have a background as a PR manager uh, since almost 4 years back. I started at a record label where I worked with PR and campaigns and marketing and worked with festivals and live shows. And now I actually just, like a few months back, I started at Ubel, where I'm at now. And my profession here is like an all round profession. I think I work with PR and label as a label manager and with marketing and project leader stuff.
Yeah, and you're based in Stockholm, right?
I'm based in Stockholm.
Mhm. And in Ubel, is it like a company for organizing a musical festivals, or what's are the?
It's more called an agency, so it's like an artist agency rather than a record label or a booking label. Um, we have different how to say areas where actually artists can they can provide no, we can provide them with our help or our like expertise. So we have a few people who works with just release and marketing and PR, and then we have a few people working with only love stuff and booking tours and shows, and then we have like a creative part as well, um, where they do music videos and graphic design. And we also have like events and brands. So events and brands, they work with festivals and work with big companies to implement more music and cultural stuff within like I don't know within those companies. So it's really nice. We do everything.
Yeah, it's almost. I wanted to tell you like, so basically you're doing everything.
Yeah, yeah. We're all like 180 agency where we actually can help both companies and artists with the cultural part.
Yeah. And how big is your team or the team working in the?
We are 20 plus something, so we're quite many.
That's great.
Yeah,
And do you have like offices and all around Sweden, or you're all based in Stockholm?
we're all based in Stockholm.
Okay. How do you find the Corona situation? How does it affect your work?
It affects the work quite a lot, especially when it comes to the live part. Um, but I mean, we do since we do a lot of releases, we do it digital. Um, so I mean, it actually affects us, but it doesn't make it that it's getting worse. We just find it as a challenge. So you can. We thought about doing live stuff, but let's do it in another way than that. You have to be physical, that you have to be on site and see an artist. Why not use more of the digital part of the world and just send everything live through the internet?
Yeah.
And that actually made our team actually go much stronger. And we're just like providing each other with a lot of ideas, and we're talking on how we can implement the music in different ways than just the regular one where you have to be on site to see an artist perform.
Yeah. Do you had also this moment of panic that, oh my God, what do we need to do? We need to cancel so many shows and so on. Or how did you manage to pass through that moment?
I mean, it's hard for everyone. I think that like no, it's very obvious that are the all the live booking companies or agencies, they're quite in a pickle right now. So, but the best thing is not to panic and actually just get like more involved. Like all the different areas here at U, but we're actually working together as a big team and actually working on doing other stuff to like to minimize that catastrophe and just make it better and just make it better.
Well, and is that how you came with the idea to organize it, a digital music festival?
Yeah, I mean, you since social media is so it's so out there and social media is so it's like an obvious thing to use. So we actually kind of took it for granted, I think. Because like when artists do like their live shows and stuff like on Instagram and stuff, I mean, you're always excited to see it, but you only see it like a couple of minutes and then you're quite done.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like it's very nice to actually use this live stuff because you're actually reaching out to more, to plenty more people when you do everything online. So we talked a lot, and then we were like, okay, so what kind of industries are gonna gain on Corona? Like, what kind of parts and platforms? And then you can see like Netflix, and all those kind of streaming show, like, and all the series and shows, they got like so many views because people are just inside, they're
Yeah.
indoors. Um, so we thought about like, why not do a festival where actually you can feel like you can chill in your sofa or in your bed and see like a full performance with one of the biggest artists in Sweden right now. So we actually brought that idea and then we just did it in a few days.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I was also watching the festival, but I was thinking
We
like,
did.
were you were you not like scary? Ah, this is not gonna be so good, because there are always some dark sides of the story.
Yeah. I mean, you have to work if as as long as you actually believe in what you're creating, it's gonna be like it's gonna be, how can I say it? I mean, as long as you believe in your work and in your creativity and in your team, it would actually become a success. If you ever have any doubts, I think that maybe you should take like another round and just think about it and just be more cautious. But I mean, I was, I mean, me and my team, we've been super, super, super joined and as a group, and we teamed up with everything, and we spoke about like pros and cons, and we just did it. We believed in the whole show. I mean, of course you get kind of scared because you don't know if you're going to reach out to people, but somewhere in the back of your mind you know that it will become a success.
Wow. Now I'm so
Yeah.
inspired. I'm now looking forward to hear like the story behind the online digital festival. Like, tell me how did you start contact with the artist, the contact with the audience?
Yeah, I mean, we work together with two media platforms, Nöjesguiden and Gaffa, and they have a big audience of like and a whole range of um, viewers and listeners and readers. So we worked with them, and they helped us to actually get out with the whole idea, the whole concept. But it started off actually as my boss just texted the whole company, and he was like, "Hey, we should do this. What do you think?" And then we took a meeting, and then we were just like, "Hey, yeah, let's do this. Okay, let's reach out to artists." So we contacted the artists that we have here at Jubel, and we contacted like friends, and they helped us out with like, I mean, everything happens like in a heartbeat, like in an instant,
Yeah.
because you get this like adrenaline kick and you just want to get it out. And then we just like contacted people. We contacted like amazing sponsors who helped us with the whole thing, otherwise the production wouldn't like be done. And then we were at the amazing and historical studio called Soundtrade Studios, and the guys working there, they helped us a lot with the like with the whole technique and the sound system and everything. So I mean, we've been working with a lot of great people, and without them, this wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
actually, it's visible on the show that the team behind the show is great, and there's a like a how do you call it? There's a great harmony in between the team members. That's how I received when the festival was on. And I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, so basically the concept of the festival is that you bring different artists physically in one
Mm-hmm.
place,
Mm-hmm.
and you do it digitally, like the consuming is done digitally, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we had this company called We Stream You, which is like an it's a production company where they film everything. So they had all the technique with the recording of the whole show. So they provided us with their help and they recorded the whole thing. And then we and they streamed it through. They connected the cameras to YouTube and to another page called Twitch, which is a really huge online site.
Yeah,
You can watch online gaming and stuff. Um, and so without them, this wouldn't have been aired. So it was great. So they helped us with that part because I am not technical when it comes to recording. I'm just like a great planner and creative.
well,
So of those things, I
that's
would just
how
yeah.
that's how a great team is being, like
Yeah,
different people,
exactly.
different skills.
Yes, exactly. So we've had like yeah, we've had a really great range of people who's been helping us with the whole thing.
Fantastic. Was it the
Hmm.
same feeling or the same process when you plan for a real show instead of like plan for a digital show?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's quite maybe it's odd for the artists since they're used to having like a whole audience in the same room. I think that a few of them said like, yeah, this is kind of weird that no one is actually like singing along. No one is actually like screaming or but then they were like, but we kind of like this. Because since we're not allowed to be that many people in a room, we were very, very like restricted. So the only people who were in the room while recording was the only people like it was the guys who recorded the whole thing, and then and a few from our team who had to be there to make sure that everything was uh, all said and done.
Yeah, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
also like wondering because this show was for free, it's on YouTube and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
like, was the idea to test and try how is it could be done, or how do you make money by this?
Yeah. Um, we like the the thing why we do the whole thing. It's called Låt Live Leva, and in English it's Let Live Live. And it's because like the whole live industry has been affected by the coronavirus. So the artists they actually lose a lot of like a big amount of their income by not performing live. So we made this online like I say donation part as well where people could swish
Yeah,
for their favorite artist so they could actually donate like any like what kind of number they wanted to their favorite artists. So this is mainly for the artists, not for us. So we just want to be like a platform for them and actually make them perform and actually get like a little amount of money through Låt Live Leva. So this is just like a thing. We're actually, you can say that we're doing this pro bono. We're doing it for the artists.
yeah, that's really great. I saw there are many
Yeah.
other companies that promoting to do okay a digital festival, a digital meeting, sorry, a digital
Mm-hmm.
conferences, digital meeting, and
Mm-hmm.
so on, but not
Mm-hmm.
really that many that going for like a digital musical festival. Are you thinking now that you're in the front and you're keep doing it, or what is the how to say? What's your reflection after the festival?
The reflection is that I love that there is such a, how do you say, there is such a big like heart, how to say, I don't know. This is just like I don't know what to say, but I mean, I'm not saying that we're not the only one doing this. I can see that a lot of companies are doing this in different kind of ways, as you say, and a lot of record labels are doing it as well. And I love it that people can actually be this creative into using their platforms and using the internet in such a more globally way. Um, so I'm just like very happy to see that a lot of companies are doing this and that a lot of musicians are there to help other musicians who are actually struggling. And just like it feels like this virus has actually connected people in a way. And I think that the the rivalry in between companies are actually quite, it's not there, so people actually rather helping each other than to working against each other. um, so I'm super excited to see what the outcome will be, because Låt Live Leva, it's going to be like an ongoing concept, but maybe in different ways. You never know how the next one will be. Like, will it be an online thing for 8 hours? Will it be just 1 hour during a weekday? Or
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything.
Yes, of course. This is the special thing with the Corona time. Like, okay, it's super
Yeah,
sad, but at the same time, people are coming
yeah,
together. Mysterious things are happening. Like, people
mm-hmm,
becoming too creative
mm-hmm,
and just finding a new solutions.
mm-hmm.
But
And it's super exciting.
yeah, yeah. And also, how does the calendar looks now in the next coming 1 or 2 months? Is there any shows gonna be?
Yes, we're actually having a show quite soon. I can't maybe say what date because you will see it on social media. But we're actually planning a few more dates, and we're in the process of booking and finding the right sponsors and stuff like that. And just to make it in different kind of ways, like I said before, we don't know how, but we're just gonna keep on implementing the name and just to be there for the artists and their musicians as well. Like
Yeah,
everyone in their bands, like this is what they do as a day job, and that they're not able to work with their day job. That's a problem. That's an issue.
yeah, yeah.
So we're
Unfortunately.
doing this for them. Yeah.
But tell me, is it possible that, like, because now the concept is that the artist should gather at one place and then you do the show.
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
possible that the artist staying at home and doing it from home?
I mean, yeah, you can do that as long as they have like the right equipment. We haven't thought about that kind of way, but I mean, maybe we'll do it in the future. You never know. But you can do it from home as well.
Yeah, it depends.
A
It's
lot of
just,
a lot of artists are doing it. Like it depends on like in how the situation will be. Will it be like a total lockdown or stuff like that?
yeah,
Then we have to come up with other solutions.
yeah. I think it's more about the technical question, right? Like if you have the right sound
Yeah,
system and so on. Otherwise,
yeah.
did you get a feedback from the audience that watching the live
Hmm.
show? Like if they were really like engaged in it, or how was it?
It was amazing. We got like a lot of live feedback. So people writing like, I think a few people saw it from other like cities, from other countries. People saying hi all the way from Mallorca, and just like people were just super excited. They said that this is amazing. Thank you for doing this. And like people said that, oh, I never heard this artist before. Thank you for, yeah, for showing me them and stuff like that. So people are very, very happy and excited. And the fact that it's like a free concert, because um like the thing with live shows, if an artist doesn't go on tour and maybe only does one show in Stockholm, and a person living up north in Umeå, like what would that person, like that person, if he or she is not able to go to Stockholm, like how can I do? So this is like a thing for everyone. It's very, as long as you have internet, then you can watch it. It's very nice.
Yeah,
It's very mobile.
exactly. I like it because also it makes music accessible to everybody.
Yeah,
Okay, with Wi-Fi connection, yes, but it's more available.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And did you had like were you telling the thing that you're receiving in the chat to the artist so they get more like adrenaline and energy, or how was the, because I understand it's a bit difficult for the artist like to perform for no audience, you know?
Exactly. No, but they're amazing. I mean, these artists, they're, you can actually see that they are artists. They're making music because they love what they're doing. So they gave the same energy as if they would be in a room with 2,000 people. But now they were in a room with like five.
Yes.
But they had like the same energy, and it was an amazing experience actually, and I'm super happy to actually be a part of this.
Yeah, super interesting.
Hmm.
Well, now I will take you to the to to more to my arena about the city planning and the smart cities.
Hmm.
Well, I'm
Hmm.
interested to know what is a smart city for you. You're working in the music industry, and so what do you think is a smart city?
Oh, that's a hard question. A smart city. A smart city is a city who's actually combining cultures, different kind of cultures together, and actually, I don't know. I mean, I mean, a smart city is a smart. It's a smart city is the place where you can combine different kind of cultures together and actually gain from each other.
So if I understand you correctly, it's more about a social city with people that open to each
Yeah,
other, exchanging culture.
yeah, exactly. Exchanging culture and talking to each other and just like get inspiration from each other and be more talkative and communicative.
Well, that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you believe that this gonna be exchanging culture gonna be more done online digitally than what do you think?
Yeah, it feels like it because like when you see in the music industry, like people are actually getting a lot of different like mm, how to say it? They actually take a little bit of this and that and doing it to their own music. Like you can see that like hip hop or R&B or pop, they're actually like collecting a little bit this from each other. When they're I think that like the boundaries in between genres, it's not that big anymore. So people actually like taking help from each other and different kind of cultures and different kind of music genres and like mixing it up to their own.
Yeah, which is
So
really
it's really
really
interesting.
exactly
Yeah,
because then we are people are more open to each other and
yeah,
accepting each other. And
yeah. And I feel like the music is a really good thing in connecting people together because we're in a world right now where everything is getting a bit dark, and I think that the music is actually putting a lot of light into it, and that people would actually get like you get happy by listening to a song, and you understand different kind of stuff when you read the lyrics and kind of understand the message that they're saying, but with like a very happy like tune.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that music is really it's a really, really great way into connecting people from different
mm,
parts of the world.
yeah. I totally agree with you. I believe
Hmm.
that music creating a life, especially in the city and between people. So
Yeah,
it's like the air
yeah,
we breathe. It's something like has to be
exactly.
in
Yes,
every day.
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, music is something you can't take away from a person. Like if you listen to something, if you like a certain artist, then you do that. And someone can't claim that from you.
Yeah.
So it's a very personal stuff. It's a very personal thing as well.
Mm. And what are now is more personal as well. What are the different
Mm.
artists or that bring the life to you and just cheer you up every day?
Oh, oh my God. That it's, I mean, how much time do we have? Ah, oh my gosh. I listen to everything. I listen to everything. It's insane. It depends on what kind of like mood I'm in. When I was younger, I listen a lot to like rock music, just like because I wanted to have that vibe and that feeling, you know. And I wasn't that mad as a kid. I was very shy and like very calm and a chill child, but I loved that kind of beat. But then like the next day I could listen to like soul and blues and R&B, and the day after I could listen to, I mean, pop music. So I listen to everything. But is if you see my most listened art, oh gosh, this is really hard. In the mood I'm in right now is very, I'm very interested in K-pop right now. I'm obsessed by
Okay.
K-pop music.
So
Yeah.
for you is the mood that decide what song you listen to.
Yeah, exactly. And I can actually sit for hours. I really love to like research music as well. So I can just go on like different blogs and websites and stuff and look at different playlists and um, charts and see like what music is really in, like what's like the biggest tune in this country right now, and just and then I can just like listen and read, and yeah, so it's like a full-time job just to find music.
That's
But I
really
love it. I love it.
yeah, that's super interesting. And what do you think is the next step for the music? Now as we you took it like more the digital festival, what's is the next step, do you think?
Oh, the next step. I think that people are actually going to work a lot with visuals. People like the past few years, a lot of artists they've been like focusing a lot about visuals on stage, like what is like behind, like on the big screens when they're performing. But now when they're not able to perform live, like physically, I think they're gonna actually focus a lot on YouTube and videos and music videos instead, um, because you can see that like the viewers they've been increasing a lot on those kind of websites. So I think it's going to be more video content when it comes to music.
Yeah. So it will be really interesting to follow the journey.
Yeah, yeah, it really
And I
will.
like it because then
I,
it's bring the creativity inside the people out.
exactly. And like how should I do this into like getting the viewers' eyes? Like how can I get people to get interested in my music? So a lot of video content through like YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that. I think that they will actually gain on this.
Yeah, yeah. It will be yeah, as I said, it will be really interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me, and what is the next step for you as a person now?
Next step as a person. Um, I I'm more of a person who takes everything day by day. I like planning stuff, but you never know how like the outcome of the day, how it will be. So I think that I'm just gonna learn how to live with this, like everything that happens, and just take advantage of like what I know and try to learn more about like industry and learn more about the whole society and just how I can implement my creativity and work mode into that.
Cool, cool. Do you think it's a hard industry field that you're in?
Um, I mean, it of course it's hard, but I mean, if you know it, then it's not that hard. I mean, you actually, I mean, it's the music industry is constantly developing into something else, and it's always something is always like building up to something else. I mean, so but it is kind of a safe industry, but like it's very developing into like a more digitalized world and more like it's a lot of I don't know, new stuff going on. But I mean, as long as actually listening and seeing what's going on, I think that you're quite safe.
Yeah, you need to be, how to say
Hmm.
it, to catch the waves. Just
Updated.
yeah,
Yeah.
keep yourself updated.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Hmm.
Well, I guess we talked a lot now
Hmm.
about different things in the music industry and the digital festival. If you summarize what we talk about and some of your reflections in three takeaway messages, both for producers or for the consumers.
Oh, okay. Be I don't know. Be open and just see what other people are doing and take notes and just do it to your own thing. I think that I mean this whole digitalized thing is actually it's opening up something for people who are creative into like creating their own things. So just like expand your horizon, look around, and see what people are doing. And I mean, everything is not lost and everything is not like a big error or like you can you can still work. Just don't stop believing in yourself. As long as you do that, you will actually achieve what you want to achieve.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for giving your time, inspiration, and sharing the stories with us, Sulekha.
So thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Super nice. Really interesting talk.
Yes, of course. And I see the time is running. I have one,
Mhm.
the last question now. I need three hashtags from you for this
Three
episode. Yes.
hashtags. Okay. Hashtag Låt Live Leva. Hashtag Jubel Agency.
Cool.
Hashtag Music Will Never Die.
Cool.
That's a new one. I
Then,
don't know.
then you need to do the
Maybe
mic
there is.
drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you again. And
Yeah.
hopefully we keep in touch and talk more about
Yeah.
the new creative ideas that you will come up with.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for having me once again. And I'm looking forward to see this whole thing.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for listening or watching Urbanistica podcast/talks. I am Mustafa Sharif. Have a good life.